Hi and welcome to Chan Walrus's Cookery Kitchen. Today I'm joined by my good friend, Nutritional Expert Zach Miller.
Hi.
And we're going to be making Grendel Soup. Now Zach, is there anything we should know about Grendel Soup before we begin?
It's good for you. And the name Grendel Soup comes from the fact that it used to be made from the bones of Grendel himself, so you know it's going to be pretty fucking good.
Yes, exactly. And that is expert advice.
Expert.
To make Grendel Soup, what you need is a pair of tea bags, some bread, some feta cheese. You need a little bit of Urn brew there, some tomato ketchup, and you also need yourself a nice big lettuce and some milk there in the background. So right, what we're going to do is we're going to be using this as our main mixing bowl. Now the first thing you do when you're making Grendel Soup is you take your tea bags and you remove the tea from your tea bags. And what we do is you rip them open. And the reason we do this is because you always need a lot of bits of tea in Grendel Soup, because tea was Grendel's favourite drink, was it not, Zach?
I believe it was, yeah.
Exactly. And that's an expert's opinion. Tea. Exactly. Well, really enjoy that. That is really fantastic looking tea. Alright, so what you do now is we're going to pour a little bit of tomato ketchup in there, just a little bit. You don't want to go too crazy. A lot of people go a bit crazy on the tomato ketchup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly take a nice spoon. I'm going to rub it all around in there. I think there's probably room for a bit more. Wouldn't you agree?
I definitely agree with that.
Okay, so we're going to add a little bit more.
You've got to make sure that the tea leaves blend quite well with the ketchup.
Exactly. Right, really enjoy mixing all of that in there. Isn't that lovely looking?
Really gets stuck in there.
And it smells absolutely delicious, doesn't it? Mmm.
Cannot wait.
Alright, now it's sort of crystallising, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of milk in. Just a little drop. You don't need a lot of milk when you're making this. So we're just going to add a little drop of milk in there. Okay, really enjoy that. Now, I'm just going to stir it in. And as you see, it's beginning to make our soup look much more delicious. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to allow it to sit for a while before adding the Urn brew later. And we're going to use our knife, and just removing the bread for a few seconds. We're just going to use our knife to cut up our resident lettuce. So I'm going to pull off a lettuce leaf or two for us. And we're going to put that on our main plate for you. Is there anything special that we need to think about when we're cutting up this lettuce?
You just got to think about making sure that it's a nice, even cuts. Because if it's not even and straight, then it just becomes some sort of strange concoction that does not work. You got to think straight, you got to cut straight.
That is expert advice there. Nearly nicked my finger. A little bit of blood in Grendel Soup, it's all good.
It is, adds a bit more pizzazz to that.
Exactly, pizzazz is very important when you're making Grendel Soup. Now, we're just going to add a little bit of it here. We can throw the rest of it away, but you don't need that much. But I like to throw in a little bit extra. Just going to throw the rest of it away there. Just scraping it into the bin off screen. And we're going to stir it around a little bit more. Now that is beginning to come along nicely, and you can sort of see the soup making its own consistency. Now, I think we need just a little bit more milk there, so we're going to add that, which is brilliant. Now, as you can see, the milk is starting to take on a beautiful hue. Is there anything we need to know about the hue?
Well, it's got to remain that kind of light brownish colour, because, well, that's the colour Grendel was, wasn't he?
Yes, exactly. This soup is very reminiscent of Grendel himself. You look at that beautiful soup as it's forming. Delicious. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just take our plate out of the way, and we're going to cut up our feta cheese. Now, I'm going to be using the same knife I did to do the lettuce, and that is very nice. So I'm going to cut a couple of delicious slices of this cheese off. Make sure you wash your hands, because washing hands and cleanliness is very important in the food industry. And we're just going to scrape this into the bowl there, like so. And that is really beginning to take on a beautiful look. Just going to stir that around. Could you stir that for me whilst I quickly put this out of the way? Thank you very much. That is beautiful. Look at the way it's blending in there. That is clearly the work of an expert.
A nutritional expert, you know.
Exactly. Now for our major ingredient, the urn brew. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour this into the mixture. And look at that beautiful colour coming out of it. Look at the fizz, isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Alright, now what we're going to do is we have had one person so far messaging me which says that this video will be cut so that we won't get the real nutrients from this and we will be eating some fake food. So we're going to leave it running. And what we're going to do is that is absolutely, look at that, that is amazing. What we're going to do is we're going to keep this on film and we're going to pour it into 2 bowls for you. Now, isn't that nice?
Nice even bowls, you got to remember. These people got to have just the same amount of Grendel soup. A bit of that excellent little sauce. Just give it a little stir if you need to.
That is good. Do you want the big portion or the small portion?
Ah, this one.
Oh, that is really good. You see, he wants the big portion.
I love myself some Grendel soup.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to keep this running, keeping these in shot at all times, grabbing our slice of bread, and we're going to grab our little spoons as well. You might want to take a new spoon for that. Make sure we keep it healthy. And we're going to follow ourselves round the kitchen as we take the delicious Grendel soup to the table. Now, at the moment, we have a blockage here, which isn't too bad. A load of people have placed some chairs here.
There's putting fucking chairs everywhere.
I don't know, I think it might have been me. There we go, keeping it in view. I think that's been kept in view.
See, there's a tomfoolery going on around here. This is real. This is true Grendel soup.
Yeah, and so few people seem to realise that, don't they, Zach? So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything round to the table, and isn't that beautiful? Now, we have our Grendel soup right here, and it is delicious. Look at that Grendel soup. As you can see, it is the same soup that we were showing you before.
Right, it is.
And, well, I always tend to like using a bit of the crusty bread first, just to sample the flavouring. So I'm going to sample a bit of flavouring.
Just dip it right in there. Get it nice and soggy.
As you can see, the tea has stuck to the bread. Can you say anything about the tea?
It's pretty teethy.
Are there any specific brands of tea that are better for this, Zach?
Definitely Sainsbury's own, Mary.
Okay, so we're going to try it now. I'm just going to taste it. You can really taste the lettuce, actually.
I think it's really taste the tea, you know.
The lettuce blends in really well with the tea to create a very, very big punch in your mouth. It tastes a little bit like carbon monoxide.
What I like to do is just get a bit of soup, just pick it up with a spoon, put it onto your nice bit of bread there, and then take a big bite out of that. See? That's Grendel soup for you.
As you can see, nutritional expert Zach Miller really enjoying that soup there. Now I'm going to try some. This is movie magic. Now that has got a very strong, distinct flavouring. The tea is really brought out by the urn brew flavouring. You can slightly taste the milk in the background. It's not a dominant flavour, but it exists there still. You know, it's very important that all the flavours come together in a meal like this. And you've got your fetus cheese there. That's really delicious. It's made from real fetus, that is. Oh, yeah. That is fantastic.
Simply wonderful stuff.
Yeah. Just try it again. Now, I like using this bread with seeds in it because seeds are healthy. What have you got to say about seeds, nutritional expert Zach Miller?
You eat them, they grow inside of you, and so you're instantly getting that kind of nutrient straight into your gut, straight into your body. So they're always brilliant to eat straight away.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disgusting is this?
I gotta give it an 8. If I'm fucking honest with you, it's pretty fucking bad.
As you can see, there's a lot of tea there. Are you going to join me when we try to consume the entirety of our soup at once?
Fuck that. You're on your own, you bloody idiot.
Not even a little bit. Well, we'll give it a shot, and hopefully it won't come up. Okay?
Gotta keep it down now. There's no fucking way I'm doing that. You won't mind as well, you seem to be enjoying that quite a bit.
I love it, it's delicious. Right.
Have you had enough of Grendel Soup?
No, I can definitely taste it. It's interesting.
One thing you gotta remember is if you take too much of it, it will come back up, and you do not want it to come back up. You want it to stay down so that you can get all the nutrients right into your gut. And it's good for you if you remember like that.
Okay. Now, I tried to down it, and you can probably see I haven't succeeded completely. But there is no fucking way I'm going to try another one. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Chan Walrus' Cookery Kitchen. Thank you for joining me, Nutritional Expert.
Thank you for having me, Walrus.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.